Y'all, we are back. Listen, stay tuned. Behind Closed Doors is coming up. And I will promise you guys, we've got a lot of great information we want to share with you guys, kind of bring you up to speed on not only what we're doing, but we really want to engage you guys and ask what it is that you need from us. Stay tuned. Coming up next, it's us for
Another episode of Behind Closed Doors
with the
Brookses.
Brookses. She got to do the most. Y'all stay tuned. Hey everybody, listen, we are back for another edition of Behind Closed Doors with the Brookses, and we're sitting here in one of the squares in Casco Viejo, obviously one of our favorite spots. If you guys have been following us for any length of time, you know that. I'm Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm also a pastor, and this lovely, beautiful woman sitting next to me is my girlfriend.
The magnificent, the wonderful, the amazing, the
Honey,
the adorable, all the things.
How many titles?
Cherie A. Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship coach, and co-pastor.
Listen.
Along with this lovely gentleman sitting right next to me.
Yeah, okay,
who's
so.
the father of my children, the love of my life.
Y'all, can we get on with the show? So we're excited, and for great reason. Today begins the first day of what we have called the Reignite Experience. By the time you guys see this, we're going to be in the throes of that particular event. And it's a couples event. Talk to them a little bit about, for those that don't know, kind of plays to who we are and what we do. But what is Reignite Experience and why do we do it, babe?
So for the past this is our 5th event, and we have a focus for helping and supporting couples. And one of the things that we realized early on in our coaching business, and just in our lives, period, being a married couple, is that couples often don't take the time to invest in them. You do all the things for your family, you're going to work, you're grinding, you're doing the things, you're running around with the kids but you don't take time for you. And it actually was motivated by some friends of ours that had been married for about 15 years, and they had never been on a vacation because they were doing all the things for the kids. And we decided, what if we created an event, an opportunity for couples to be able to get away, just them, no kids,
right,
where they can just spend time together to reignite, reinvest in each other, and revitalize their relationship over a couple of days in a romantic setting where it's just them alone, where they can actually spend time and hopefully rekindle some things between them.
Yeah, the significance particularly of Casco Viejo is that 2 years ago when Cherie and I first came to Panama, this is where we stayed for 10 days. We did a trip, and it was our 24th wedding anniversary, and we came and we stayed in Casco for 10 days. Part of that time was going out scouting neighborhoods that we thought we might want to live in, and turned around. Not only did we fall in love with the place, but we turned back around and moved here permanently 5 months later. Why are we telling you all this? Because there's an opportunity next year for you guys to get involved. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to take Reignite on the road internationally. Why are you laughing, babe?
Because it's going to be all the things.
Yeah.
It's going to be all the things. One thing that I really want to stress to couples is that being able to get that alone time gives you the opportunity to dream again. And there's nothing better than to be able to dream in a new place,
right,
in a new setting.
Right.
So like this year, the couples are coming here to Panama. They're here, they're going to get to experience Casco Viejo, but next year we're going to another country.
Right.
We're going to another location in an environment where they'll be able to dream.
Yeah.
They'll be able to sit back and listen to the still water, and it gives you an opportunity to really open up. And that's one thing that we practice in our relationship. Every year we take some time, just the two of us, to be able to dream.
Yep.
To just pull away from everything else and share what our passions are, what are things that we are looking forward to, what is our vision for our relationship, for our family going forward. And next year, and spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Reignite Experience 2026 is going to be in Cancun, Mexico at an all-inclusive resort.
Listen.
Stay tuned for details.
Listen, so check the description below. You'll find out everything you need to know. And so if you are interested, look, husbands, let me help you understand. a lot of times our connection to our wives is not about what you do, it's what you do together, right? And I realized that over 26 years of being married to this one, her love language is quality time. So when I am loving her best, it's when we're spending quality time. And even if that's not your spouse's love language, what I do know is that there's an intrinsic value in spending time that you get. So ladies, if your husbands have not gone on a vacation and they are like doing all the things, like book this for them, like get them here. Y'all do me a favor, jump down into the description below and you'll find out more information about that. So I've got a couple of questions I need to ask of you guys. And Cherie, one of the things that we're realizing is behind closed doors is about our life abroad, particularly here in Panama. And what are the things I want to know, and you can comment in the chat, what are some things that you guys would like to see us do and things that you would like to experience? One thing I know for sure, there have been many of you guys who have said, we'd like to see some properties. We'd like to see, like, we're thinking about moving there and we'd like to see what the neighborhoods look like and things like that. I don't know what it is that you want from us in the way of content, but here's what I do know. We don't want to put up content that you're not interested in.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. And so one thing that we want to do, we want to be able to provide you guys the information that you want. I get questions all the time, people asking about different things. But what do you want us to show you here on this video? If it is neighborhoods, if it is, you want to see what does, I mean, one question I get all the time, what is it like, you know, rent there? And it's hard to give somebody what average rent is, but what we can do is show you different properties, what different rentals look like in different areas, if that's something that you guys are interested in. If it's getting to see different neighborhoods, like Glenn said. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all now, I'm not jumping off no cliff, jumping into no water. Not doing
so
it.
All my adventure seekers, listen, we ain't them. We not like y'all. So we'll do some things, we'll show you some areas, and maybe we'll do maybe we could do a show on things to do in Panama. And we can capture some of the sightseeing things that you may want to be a part of. You know, like I think about the Sands building, and on top of that you have Point, which is a place that if you want to do zip lines across the top of a building at the Centro Costera overlooking the Panama Bay at night.
If that's your thing.
If that's your thing, they got that. Like, and so obviously the waterfalls out in the interior and all the different things. So we just want to hear from you guys, and we want to make sure that you guys know that we're interested in content and producing content that makes sense for you. One of the things that I do want people to do before we get out of here, because as we speak, people are beginning to arrive in a hotel that we're staying in right around the corner. One thing that I do want to kind of speak to is investment opportunities.
Yes.
Cherie and I have determined that this year we are really serious about educating ourselves on what the investment process looks like here in Panama. Not only for us, but for those people who are connected to us.
Right, and if you guys are interested in going on that journey with us as we learn more about different investment opportunities, we would love to be able to expose that to you if you're interested. So if that's something you guys would like to see us share here on the channel, let us know. We can share with you when we meet with different developers, when we go view properties, as we are learning what that process is here in Panama. I will say that purchasing a property here is not the same as purchasing one in the States. So the whole financing structure and all of that is different here. And so there are a lot of things that we're learning. We'd love to be able to share that with you guys.
Yeah.
Like Glenn said, we want to give you guys content that you want to see. We're not doing this channel for us. We're doing it to provide you guys information, but we want to know what it is that you guys are interested in. What do you want to do? All jokes aside, now, like I said, I'm not going to jump off no cliff, jump in no water, but if it is like the monkey tours and things like that, going to the beach, going to more touristy locations like Glenn said, let us know. As the church rings this bell. Let us know, and we will try to get you guys footage of that, live footage. Now, one thing that we personally like to do whenever we show footage, we actually like to record our own footage. Because we want to give you our honest opinion of it, our perception, our perspective.
Because one of the things you don't see a lot of, and we rarely, if ever, do, we don't show y'all stock photos. So if we're showing you B-roll and clips and things, it's places that we've gone to. And that's the thing that I want to remind people, because we live here, our life is different than that of a tourist, right? So you guys may want to see the touristy things to do, but we have to really think, well, what else is there to do? Because even after living here almost 2 years, we have not done all the things. I mean, there are still so many things that we've left to do. And so maybe you guys will inspire us to go do something, get outside and go experience something that we may not have experienced or would not have considered experience had you not asked.
Right, and another thing I know that I get questions about all the time are like the type of food here. If you guys want us to do like food tours and show you different restaurants and things like that, that's something that we can do. But whatever it is, we want you guys to be creative. Let us know what it is that you're interested in so that we can get that kind of footage. Put it in the chat, put it in the feed so that we know. Also, if you are interested in coming here to Panama, if you've been thinking about whether it's for a trip or you're thinking about relocating and you just want some information before you make a decision on whether you're going to come or how to come, where to stay, things like that, click the link in the description to book a taste and see consultation with me. One thing I advise people, when you go to any country, whenever you visit a country, you want to talk to somebody that's actually there in the country. One thing that I'll say about Panama, things change here rapidly. There's major turnover when it comes to businesses, to restaurants, things like that. So you may have seen a place online, you may have seen their IG feed last month, but they may not be in business when you get here. So reach out so that you can get a boots on the ground perspective on the things that best suit you and what your needs and your desires are when you come to visit.
So real quick on that, we just literally a couple of nights ago went out to eat. Some friends of ours who are part of our Breakfast in the Word community, they live in David, which is on the western side of the country, near closer to Costa Rica. They were down in the city for some business that they needed to take care of. So we was like, let's get together, let's grab dinner. And so I asked them, well, what is it that you guys like? Are y'all on any kind of special diet restrictions or anything like that? And so the response was, anything where they serve decent seafood, we're good. So we immediately thought of a place. Now here's the other thing. Here in Panama, many places are closed on Mondays because they're open Saturdays and Sundays. So think of, like in the States, it might be salons and sometimes barbershops that are closed on Mondays. Well, there are many restaurants that may be closed on a Monday. So the place that we were thinking about was closed. So I went online, I looked up another place that we liked, and sure enough, they said they were open on Monday. So I was like, good. We love the spot, been there, I think they'll like it. Sure enough, we get there, and guess what, y'all?
They was closed.
They was what?
They was closed.
They was what?
They was closed.
Again,
up,
it was,
closed.
listen, batten down the hatches. Here's the deal, y'all. They said they were open. Now imagine if you were traveling and you were in country and you had heard all the things and you looked at the reviews and you were hyped about this. You looked on their site and they said they were open only for you and your crew to get there and they were closed. How would you feel? Put it in the chat.
Right.
I get it. So that's one of the reasons why, even for me, when I go back to Baltimore, where I'm from, you listen, I'm going to pick up the phone and call somebody who lives there. Say, yo, what's going on?
Right.
What's happening? What are the vibes?
Spot?
Where's the new spot? Where's the best place to get crab cakes now, as opposed to 25 years ago when I lived there? Does that make sense? So I want you guys to think like that. That's what that concierge service will help you do. Before we get out of here, babe, I do want to talk about Black History.
Yes.
And I do want to talk about some things that we've got planned for Black History.
So next week, we have a special interview, a Black History edition. We interviewed a mover and shaker, a dear friend of ours who's making moves and making history in the golf space. Every month this year, we are going to highlight a mover and shaker for Black History. Black History is not just a month. We celebrate Black History every day. And so every month we're going to spotlight somebody for the remainder of the year. Whether they're a business owner, ministry leader, they are living legends. They are people who are doing something. They're making an impact today, yes. and it's historical already. And we want to definitely bring some people you may know, some people you may not. But what we want to do is we really want to highlight that and make sure that we represent our culture well. Right. And so as we do that, we're celebrating, Black History. We're celebrating businesses. We're celebrating people that are making a difference. For those of you that may not know, we recently started our foundation, the We All Need Some Help Foundation, where we are putting together, we're going to be doing some service projects, some different things here in Panama as well as abroad. I guess it is abroad for us because it's not in Panama. In the U.S. as well as here in Panama. And if you'd like to learn more about that community, you can join us every Saturday morning for Breakfast in the Word, which is our weekly teaching that we do. It's more so about community.
Yeah.
That is, it's being in a room with other believers who are trying to grow and trying to further develop spiritually.
Yeah, one of the things that we discovered very quickly, we have a video that we did on our top 5 regrets, and that was that as believers, we took for granted that because there were expats here, that because there were black expats, that it was a given. They're black churches, or they're churches that we felt like we could connect with. And it didn't have to necessarily be black, but there has to be some kind of connection. And oftentimes when you move to another city, or certainly when you move abroad, there may be spiritual things, services, maybe Christian communities, but there's no connection for you. And so we created Breakfast in the Word to connect particularly with people who felt like they may be separated from the body of Christ. They're growing in terms of their faith because they're getting in their word, but they're not growing in community. And Sharia is absolutely right. How many of y'all can go to a church on a Sunday morning, but you don't feel like you belong? Right. How many of you guys are in a fraternity or sorority, but you don't feel connected? How many of you guys are in families and you don't feel like you have friends that are your family members, like y'all are distant? This is our attempt to really bridge that gap. So it's more than a Bible study on Saturday mornings. It is a building community. We host monthly meetups in person, outside. We call them First Saturdays. It's a gospel brunch here in Panama, but we're also hosting around the country and around the world those same kinds of meetups for the people that live in those areas.
Right, and so we hope that you guys will connect with us. Be sure, don't forget, put in the chat what are some things you're interested in us sharing here on this channel as we continue to add value to you. And as we promised earlier this year, we are going to be getting outside of Panama this year and visiting some other countries, so we're going to be bringing you content from there as well. But we got to get to this Reignite experience.
That's what we got to do.
Flights are coming in.
Omar's ready. We doing all the things, y'all. I'm so excited. At the end of the day, here's what I know to be true.
You can't get to no place of significance
by yourself,
because
we all need some help. Y'all be good, and we'll see you on the next edition of Behind Closed Doors with the Brookses.